Welcome, friends, to my quick unboxing and review of this Qnap switch. It's an industrial switch that has an amazing selection of ports with everything you have necessary for a modern 10 gigabit network, including the 10 gigabit Ethernet ports, 8 of them, and 8 fiber optic ports. So what makes this switch so special? To me, what makes it so special is that it has a wide voltage input. This thing is built like a tank. As it is fanless, it has a wide range of input. 5.6 to 1 amp, 9 volts to 54 volts. What does it mean? Well, technically, you don't need to use the power brick. This is the power brick that comes with it. It's a 12 volt, 8 amp power brick. I have the previous model of this switch installed all over my home, and it has been really amazing. It's been treating me very well. It comes with this, it looks like a rack mount. You could install it like this over here and install it to the wall. That's a cool rack mount. Okay. And it has these little angle brackets things you could, I guess, install on the thing. So you could either install it to a wall using these with a couple of screws, or if you have a rack, I guess you could put it in a rack doing it like this and install it there. So this is a managed switch. Apparently you could manage the different networks. There is a Kensington lock and a reset button over here. There's a console, and you could also install, it looks like, voltage in. It looks like you could install multiple power relays to this. So you could have battery backups, multiple different battery backups coming into this port. So this switch is designed to be operating in all types of conditions and to last for years or maybe decades without an issue. Its price, I think, was $1,100 plus tax. So let's say between $1,200 and $1,300. To me, it's a work of art. I do have a 10 gigabit network currently, and I do like the idea of being able to interconnect them very quickly. Having the different ports on the front and the back. This is a huge grill over here. It's almost it's like a really huge heatsink. And it says over here, do not touch, because apparently this part might get hot. These 8 ports look really amazing to me. You got the fiber optic ports, and you got these ports over here. That's really nice. What else? So what is my purpose of using it? Well, eventually, I'm planning to build up a homestead, and I want to have an off-grid electrical system, and being able to power this from a 9 volt battery, a 12 volt battery, a 28 volt, a 52 volt. So it basically allows you to power between a 12 and a 48 volt battery, anywhere in between, and just plug it into the power system that way. What I do like about also this is that it's more compact than the previous version. It's a very heavy duty switch. What I also do like about it is that it's completely fanless. So yes, this part gets hot, so don't let your children touch it, or like pets touch it. So just put it in a closet where it's not going to affect anything, and you are golden. What I also do like about it is that it's manageable through the network. Over here, where I have the paper covered, there is the network ID, administrator password, MAC address, and stuff like that. So this is the model number, and this is called an industrial switch for a reason. I've been very happy with my Qnap devices. I also personally have a Qnap industrial NAS that's also fanless and takes SATA SSDs. So that's kind of nice. I do like that it does have a Kensington lock over here. So that's additional protection. So it comes with everything you need to install it, which is really good. Is there screws here? I think there's screws. If anything, we'll figure out. It's probably in the box somewhere still. So overall, I give this 2 thumbs up. Not sure how many people reviewed this switch. Oh, also that's really cool thing about this power adapter is that it screws in. So this thing won't fall out of the back. So once you plug it in and you have this guy plugged in, it's not gonna fall out. My plan is actually to maybe cut this cord off and put on an Anderson connector and connect it to directly to a 12-volt battery, so there's always power coming to the switch. So I'm linking it below. I bought this on Amazon. It's probably available other places, maybe on their website. I'll see if I can link you to their website about this. I do highly recommend it. The compact design, the fanless design is really nice. I've had other 10 gigabit switches. They do have a fan on them, and extra noise to me, I prefer to have a noiseless system. I also do like that the wide variety of input and probably a lot of other protections. You just can't get a more high quality switch than an industrial one that's designed to operate for decades and years. So you have this, and notice also over here, one of the things that the previous switch had, I have the previous switch, I think it has the 8 and 8 or maybe 8 and 10. Long story short is that some of them, it was fiber optic ports and Ethernet ports, and both shared the same number. So that means if you plugged into the fiber optic port and the Ethernet number, let's say this was a 2, and if you plug into 1, the other port wouldn't work. So technically you get more ports with this, and you get the full 16 ports, so you could use all the ports on the switch. So yes, it might look more expensive price-wise, but value-wise, I think it's an incredible value because you have the ability to use all the ports. Wow, with the previous one, maybe it might have slightly more ports, but they were kind of shared. You either use one or the other, and then one doesn't work, and then when you have a whole bunch of wires plugged in, you might have had to worry about it. That's what I remember from my switch. I just have it working for years. So the previous model of the Qnap switch, which I have still all over my home, I have 2 of them. It works fantastic. Never had an issue. I love it. So I'm happy I got this switch, and you know, I can't really show you much of the things because it's you know, so installed in my home, and there's no thing to show you. Oh, it's a box on the wall. Yeah, there's probably some stuff you could do in the management. You guys would have to figure out for yourself. However, the reason I think I'm making this video is that you might be looking into this switch and you wanted to see what it looks like in real life and what is the commentary from another tech enthusiast. You know, I paid my own money for this, so I didn't have to make this video. I'm not beholden to anybody. I just say that the Qnap products, I've been very impressed with them, and that's why I'm a long-time customer, and this is why I'm already buying a third of these switches. You know, I have 2 of the previous gen and the newer gen, and I'm very much impressed with the build quality of this new gen. I think it's also smaller than the last gen too, which is nice. So what do I do like about it? I might be getting repetitive. The wide range of voltage, so you could do a 12 over 48 volt system, so off-grid system, so you don't need to run it off a power inverter, because that's the issue with power inverters, is sometimes that they fail. So you don't need to use the power brick. Also, power inverter DC to DC without having to do any conversion is the optimal way to run your electronics. Your electronics are running off DC electricity anyway, and those power bricks actually convert AC to DC anyway. So if you're able to bypass that step, you might be gaining increase between 15 and 30% efficiency. So yeah, it might not look like a lot, but 10 to 20 watts over a long period of time, over years and decades, might add up to a few pennies. Also, it's not about the pennies, it's about also being able to power this directly from solar power or other off-grid power, which I think is really important. If you're off-grid, you want your stuff to be a lot more reliable. Even if you're not off-grid, you have a production environment. Let's say you're in an office, you have 16 PCs, you have a NAS, you have multiple different systems, and you're finally copying files back and forth. You want the most reliable connection possible. And what I do know is that 10 gigabit switches are, cost money. They don't cost as little as 2.5 or 1 gigabit switches. However, if you're going to already have the tech, might as well go for the higher speed ones, because you do want the faster interconnection between the things, especially if you're running AI systems and if you're doing backups and stuff like that. You want it to be as smooth and fast as possible, which this exact switch facilitates. Would I recommend it? Would I buy it again if I had a choice? I probably would. I probably would buy 2, 3 more or as many as I need in my future homestead for my network, for network stability. So the way that I see this is that things that are 10 gigabit, local connection, obviously it can run at 5 gigabit, it could run at 2.5 gigabit, it could run at like 1 gigabit, and the 10 gigabit could be the long runs between switches like this. So because copper, it loses power, and more efficient, the SFP plus connection is a lot more efficient. However, some things are 10 gigabit copper, some things are 10 gigabit SFP plus. So now you don't have to really worry about it. The benefit of running SFP plus between the different things is that because it's a fiber optic cable, it's non-conductive. So let's say that there's an electrical, let's say a lightning strike to somewhere where you're running it to. It can't send the stuff back over copper back to it. Also, you could get a 300 meter fiber optic line for very inexpensive. So you could run an interconnection between buildings via 10 gigabit connection like this, and it's not gonna interconnect the copper, so it's not gonna conduct any extra electricity. So it's only sending the data via fiber optic channel. So that's the most efficient, and it creates the least amount of heat. Overall, it's a fantastic system. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thumb up, subscribe. I linked it below to Amazon. It would give me a kickback. It's an Amazon affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything extra, so if you were buying this or anything else anyway, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate your commentary too about what you guys think about it. What's your experience with it? I don't know if there's many reviews about this, because when I was looking, there was not that many. I don't think they sent out these exact switches for reviewers to review anyway. So that's my commentary about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye. So that switch down there is the previous switch this one was replacing. I would say the install process was very easy. The little bracket's installed, and it's little 4 drywall screws. On the other side, there's a Kensington lock, there's a reset button. At first, when I plugged in the fiber optic into there, it wasn't working. What got it working was I took a SIM card replacement tool, and I plugged it into the hole that's next to the Kensington lock on that side. This side has the little is a little circle for the adapter plug, and then there's the green line to put multiple voltages in there. I'm not showing you the software that's behind there because I don't want to show off my MAC address and any like that. I was able to find it on my network very easily. After resetting it, it was able to get network access, because before resetting it, I had all these things plugged in, but the lights weren't shining up, and neither were the lights lighting up for the fiber optic, which is what my network is based on, 10 gigabit. So the reset button fixed that correctly. And then once plugged into the network, I used the software called QFinder. You download the app right from the Qnap website, and that showed up the thing, and then I double clicked it, and that took me to the login screen. On the login screen, you take the password from the back of the thing. Before mounting it, make sure you take a photograph of the back sticker, so you have it on your cell phone, so you're able to log into the web-based, GUI-based management platform. On the management platform, it shows which ports are plugged in and stuff like that. You see those amber ports? What it shows is that there's connected, and it's connected between 1 gigabit, 2.5, or 5 gigabit. If it's connected at 10 gigabit, it's actually green, like the green blinking behind there. I can't show you from this end, but you see there's a green backlight being kind of shining forth. Overall, it's not actually generating any heat. Perhaps maybe if you do a lot of if you do strong, powerful transfers, a lot of them, maybe it would get heated up. So the design is actually pretty good because it's very easy to mount behind the desk or somewhere where it's easily accessible. So I made sure that I'm able to look and see the ports on this end, and the power plug I could always unplug from there. Right now I have it connected directly to a DC 12-volt battery via this one, and at idle it's pulling about 16 watts with, it looks like you have the fiber optic connection and at least 3-4 other connections that are here that are lit up. So it's not very much. It's very power efficient, 15 watts for a 16-port switch. I think that's pretty good. It is very stable. I balanced it off the old switch that is mounted there. I'm just gonna leave that there for now. It's not asking to eat anything. So there's 2 fiber optics ports on this one. It's like a $50-$60 switch, and there's 8 2.5 gigabit ports over here. Pretty decent switch too. This one is probably like 20 times cheaper. It's like $60 to $80, not more than 100, but it's 2.5 gigabit. Here we have 10 gigabit ports all around, and you have a lot more fiber optic ports. I'm planning to put a lot more 10 gigabit stuff here in this room, so I wanted to have the future expandability that this one presents. And overall, I would say the build quality is phenomenal. And if you're looking to get the switch, please use my link for Amazon, because this way it might give me a kickback, or if you're buying anything else, that might just give me a kickback also. But either way, I'm fine. I'm happy with you guys just putting down a comment which you guys liked about it, what you guys might think they could improve on. However, I just don't see anything that could be improved upon. You know, the mounting bracket is giving you the ability to put it in a server rack case, or to mount it to a wall included. That's probably like a $15, $20 if you were buying it separately. And I thought it was very thoughtful of them to include it. And if you're putting this in a place like a bedroom and stuff like that, where you don't want to hear extra fans all day and every day, that's also another point of failure that some switches might have, is that if you have a fan blowing every second of every day, that fan might fail eventually, and it might cause you to have to replace the switch or whatever, because you might get overheated. This one is a passive design, beautifully designed with all 10 gigabit connections, modern connection. I'm very happy with it. So guys, thumb up, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and God bless. Bye.